Hey guys, I'm coming to you live tonight making chocolate chip cookies. Today, I don't know why I said tonight, it's Sunday. These are actually paleo, autoimmune protocol, totally clean, super awesome ingredients. They're autoimmune protocol because I'm not going to use an egg, I'm actually using a gelatin egg to make it, get that, egg texture, keep everything stuck together. So I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to make the cookies, and I'm going to show you all the products that I'm using while I'm doing it. So this one, the base for this is a cassava flour, so that's what I'm using today, cassava flour, and we actually carry all of these ingredients here in the store. So if you are wondering about them, or if you want to know if anything is, here, I'll let you know about all of that. Okay, so cassava flour, chocolate chip cookies, here we go. The first thing that the recipe says to do is to mix all the dry ingredients together. So I've got my cassava flour. This is all measured out. It was actually in grams. And then to the cassava flour, I'm going to add the gelatin. It's 1 tablespoon of gelatin, and I showed you that package. That's the Vital Proteins gelatin. And then I've got half a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of salt going in. And I just get for the baking soda, I just try to make sure it's aluminum-free baking soda. And then the other thing that goes in here is it calls for vanilla extract, but I'm actually going to use the vanilla bean powder. So I used a little less than what the recipe says. And I'm always showing you guys this vanilla bean powder. Sorry if there's a little bit of a glare. This is my favorite vanilla flavor ever. It's so strong. It's really amazing. The reason I'm using a little bit less than the ingredients say to is because the ingredients are calling for vanilla extract, which I'm not using. It's not as strong of a vanilla flavor. It also has alcohol in it to get the extract part of it. And I'm using a little less because I'm going to use the vanilla bean ghee that we carry in the store. So that's also got a vanilla flavor to it. So I don't want the vanilla to overwhelm it. These are supposed to be chocolate chip cookies, not vanilla cookies. Okay, so I'm going to whisk that together and just kind of let that sit for a minute while I'm working on everything else. Woo! Cassava flour is a little bit fluffier than regular flour. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit. The next thing that the ingredients tell me to, or the recipe tells me to do, is it actually calls for maple syrup, but I'm using date syrup, plain date syrup. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my mixer. And the reason I wanted to use the mixer is because when you're doing a paleo, gluten-free, any of those type of recipes, it's good to use the mixer to really make sure you're blending your butter and your sugar together and get that really creamy. Next is a 1/4 of a cup of coconut sugar. So I'm going to let those kind of sit together for a second. Let me just give this a quick spin. And the recipe says to let this sit, the sugars, just the 2 sugars together, sit for about a minute before you add the butter to it. So I'm going to let that sit, kind of just marry. So I just mixed it up a little bit, let that sit together for about a minute. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of that vanilla bean ghee that I told you guys about. So real quick, the date syrup that I used is the Date Lady syrup. This is so amazing. The only ingredient in this is dates. It's just blended dates. So it's really sweet, but it's a low glycemic index sugar. What that means is it's going to help raise your blood sugar if you need it to get a little bit of a blood sugar boost, but it's not going to spike your blood sugar. That's a very important distinction. For me, I have hypoglycemia, and what that means is I go really low blood sugar if I don't have enough calories. And this happened to me last night, and actually I ended up leaving my house at 8 o'clock to go get myself something really quick. I went to In-N-Out, forgive me, and had a burger because I was so hungry and my blood sugar was crashing so much, and it was going to be one of those moments where I was going to have to ask everybody for forgiveness for the things that I was going to say for being hungry. When that happens to me, I keep dates in the fridge, and I'll grab a date and eat a date. It helps to raise my blood sugar, but it doesn't spike my blood sugar, so I don't get that now I'm jittery, crazy, now I don't know what to do. So the date syrup is just made from dates. Really sweet, natural source, low glycemic index, not going to spike your blood sugar. The other thing that I told you about was the coconut palm sugar, and I'm using the Raw Revelations coconut palm sugar. We also carry this here, of course. And then the baking soda, I just keep mine in a glass jar so that it stays fresher longer. But like I said, I'm using the aluminum-free baking soda. I get this from Sprouts, Bob's Red Mill. aluminum-free baking soda. And that's all that's going so far. So this has been sitting for about a minute. I'm going to add now my, my vanilla bean ghee to that. And if you couldn't tell, I'm not in my own kitchen today. I'm actually at Artisan's Palette in the commercial kitchen making these cookies. I've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm actually testing this recipe. I've never made it before, so bear with me on this one. But I thought today it would be fun, hopefully get you guys to come and see me. I'm making these cookies for all of you. So come in, I'll give you a free cookie, I'll package up all the ingredients for you so you can make these at home, print the recipe out for you, and let you try one of these awesome, super clean, super awesome cookies. So totally up to you, but I really hope you can come in and see me and try these cookies. So date syrup, coconut palm sugar, and then the vanilla bean ghee, and I'm going to blend this for a good minute or so. I want this to be really blended well. Oh, it's shaking the camera, how funny. Sorry about that. Hope you don't get vertigo. Okay, so what's happening is it's whipping up really, really nicely, and it's getting really creamy. That's what you want to see. You want that butter and the sugar together whipped really well and really creamy. I actually learned this from a great friend of mine. She's a baker, and she just recently had to go gluten-free, and I'm really, really hoping that someday she goes like full-blown paleo, and then she bakes me all kinds of baked good all the time, because I personally am not a baker. You'll know that from my previous videos. Okay. The recipe calls for Enjoy Life chocolate chips. Enjoy Life chocolate chips are really great, allergen-free, no soy, dairy, no gluten, obviously, and a couple of other things. But today, because yesterday we made fresh chocolate, we make fresh chocolate at least once a week here, I'm actually going to use our chocolate that we use here in the store. So this is our anger management chocolate. And anger management because it's got the mucuna purines in it. So these cookies are not only going to taste good, they smell really good already, the sugar anyways, they're going to help bring you down. So come on in, enjoy the sunshine, get a cookie on your way to the beach, whatever it is you're doing. So we make these and we put them on like a big sheet, and then we break them up into pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them and just kind of chop them up roughly so that I can throw it in with my cookie batter. So it's going to be like a chocolate chunk type cookie. Alright, this is looking so good. I have to admit that I was chopping these up a little bit before so that I didn't have to do too much chopping in the video, and I definitely snuck a piece. It's kind of like, you know, the cookies had to pay their taxes to me, the baker. I had to eat them. Alright, so the butter and the sugars are all whipped nicely, so I'm going to slowly add in my dried ingredients. And the reason I'm doing it slowly is because I don't want it to get too thick, but I also want to make sure I don't get like a big old cloud of dust either. You can see that it already is kind of clouding up. That's okay. Make sure I get everything in there. Okay, so that's mixing up really nicely. And I'm just going to let that go until it forms a dough. Sorry, it's shaking the camera. How funny is that? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just add in my chocolate chips. And then I'm going to put them on my baking sheet. These go in the oven 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. And that's it. So it's an ungreased, unlined baking sheet. These take a little bit longer to set up because it's a gelatin egg, not a regular egg. So when you take it out of the oven, it's got to stay on the sheets for about a minute before you take them off the sheets to cool and then serve them. So give me about 15 minutes total for me to get this in the oven and get them out. And then come and have one of my cookies. I'm so excited to share with you. And come try all these products. I've got the recipe printed out for you. I'll make you your own copy and get you everything you need to get your own cookie batch going. And if you don't want that, at least come get some of our fresh made yesterday chocolate here in-house. Super, super, super yummy. Like I said, I already sampled, so I had to. Okay, so I'm going to put the chocolate in, let that go, and then because this is a paleo, recipe, it doesn't have like all the gluten and dairy and all of that in it, the cookies aren't going to spread themselves out like you would normally see a cookie spread itself out. So when you put it on the baking sheet, you want to flatten it out to the desired shape, consistency that you want. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope to see you guys. I'm here at Artisan's Palette in Temecula. I'll be here till 4 o'clock today, and I'll be giving out cookies until they last. So come on in, get a cookie, come see me. I'm testing this recipe. I've never tried it, so let's do it together. It'll be an adventure in chocolate chip cookie land. All right, you guys have a great day. I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.